Okay. Shenanigans and Shady Town at the ecosystem level. I have a hypothesis. I want to try them for you. I want you to let me know what you think. So a couple days ago, I talked to you about the fact that a half a dozen programs had opted out of having the spring game. Just not going to have it. Okay. And it occurred to me as I started thinking about that maybe something else was afoot at the ecosystem level. So I got some thoughts. As you know, coaches uniformly dislike the two transfer portal window system. Okay, uniformly, all of them. Okay, and they lament about tampering and poaching of players and all of that. Okay, they despise the whole system. You also know that I have said to you that the system, okay, is not created by the athlete. The athlete must operate in the system, but he or she did not create it. So coaches can lament, but athletes didn't create the system. They're simply playing in the system as it was designed. I've also mentioned that the system is not designed to serve the athlete. Okay, this notion of putting yourself in the portal so someone can choose you in a beauty contest like fashion is not designed to benefit the athlete. It's designed to benefit the college, the university, the athletic program that is looking for talent. Okay, so we've talked about that before. So what am I trying to put together for you? Exhibit A. Power 4 coaches, back on January 15th, I reported to you that Power 4 coaches had unanimously voted to move from the two transfer portal window structure to a single window. So the December window right now runs 20 days and the April window runs 10 days. They voted for a single 10-day window to run from January 2nd to January 12th. In that video back in January 15th, I commented to you that that was not a student athlete friendly window. Okay? You can go look at that video on my YouTube channel if you want to. Now, Exhibit B, okay, Exhibit A is the fact that they uniformly voted every Power 4 coach for the single window in January. Exhibit B, now we have half a dozen major programs opting out of spring game for a number of reasons, all of which are legitimate. Okay. But the most interesting and probably the most realistic reason that is driving all this is they are tired of poaching and tampering. Okay. It's like we make these investments in these players and we showcase them on spring game on national TV and bam, they get poached. So we're out of that. So, okay. Now we have a situation where with respect to that single portal window, it was not student athlete friendly for a number of reasons. First, it puts spring semester in jeopardy. A window that goes from January 2nd to January 12th, when some Power 4 schools starts class before the 12th, okay, puts spring semester in jeopardy if they can't get the deal done, if the athlete can't get the deal done in time to register for spring semester. The whole point, okay, of the December window was to give the athlete an opportunity to play in spring ball so they could potentially compete for a starting slot for fall. But if they can't get registered in time, then they go sit on mama's couch, even if they ultimately get a deal to be someplace in the fall. Now, this narrow window puts extreme pressure on the student athlete to get a deal done quickly. Okay, so the financial package, all the packages now that you have to put in place, they're trying to squeeze those sucker into 10 days. We know from portal reporting previously that even though the window is supposed to be whatever it is, people keep on entering the portal and deals keep getting done. Okay. Hundreds of athletes entered the portal after it closed on December 28th. And hundreds of deals got done after it closed on December 28th. So the closing of the portal window does not really close anything. But it does put immense pressure if the athlete is trying to go and play in the spring. Okay. Now, the other reason this single portal window in January was not effective, or not student athlete friendly, is that it removed the ability for the athlete to decision make for him or herself after spring ball. Okay. Keep in mind, I keep telling you, it was not designed for the student athlete. Okay. So if they only have the decision-making window in January, no matter what happens in the spring, they're stuck till the next January under this structure. So just in the same way that the coaches don't want folks poaching athletes coming out of spring, okay, the athlete still wants complete information to decision make about whether they should enter the portal in April. And without that additional data point about spring game, they lose the full suite of information available to them. So with major programs now stepping away from spring ball, it's a trend that will likely continue, because once you get top programs that are willing to do the hard thing first, it's easy for other programs just to come behind them. Okay, so I would expect that to be a trend that's going to result in the April window becoming less meaningful, because schools will not be able to see talent coming out of spring game, making the window less meaningful in order for them to fill gaps. Athletes will not have as good a sense of where they fit in the structure they're in to determine whether the portal makes sense for them, understanding that they need to know where they're going before they enter the portal. That's just a sidebar. Okay, but it's going to minimize the importance of the spring portal window. So if the long game is being played here, you got both things happening at the same time. On one hand, coaches are saying, hey, NCAA, consider a one portal window structure. On the other hand, you have schools saying, no matter what happens with that, I'm pulling back from spring ball, from the spring game, because I don't want poaching and other things happening to my players. Net result, one window, whether there's more than one or not. Shenanigans, Shady Town. Let me know what you think. Am I right? Seems to me that this is reducing the opportunity for the athlete to be showcased, and also for the athlete to make their own decisions based on the full suite of information. But I encourage you to give me your thoughts.